Hi there, I'm Trucker Ray, and before we get to our presentation, I wanted to share with you a new way to contact me. That's right, I finally got a post office box. A lot of you have been sending emails and leaving comments on my YouTube channel, and that is awesome, but I know some of you still like snail mail. So, if you have something you'd like to send, whether it's a card, or you want to buy me a cup of coffee, or whatever it might be, this is where you send it. P.O. Box 12306, Langley, RPO, which stands for Royal Post Office, Logan Creek, British Columbia, Canada, V2Y0Y7. That's P.O. Box 12306, Langley, RPO, Logan Creek, BC, Canada, V2Y0Y7. Now, if you're ready, let's get to our presentation. We got a car on fire here. I don't want to get anywhere near that in case that blows. Good grief. Wonder how that happened. Can't believe they're actually letting the traffic go through with it like that burning. Hey friends! Welcome to my channel. If you're viewing for the first time, my name is Trucker Ray. I travel the highways of North America, and I'd love to share the gospel of Yeshua, which means I'm not afraid or not ashamed of the gospel. You'll see a Bible break later on, which just shares a little bit of the Bible. No, I don't press it on you through the entire video, but there's a little lesson in there. And a lot of the time, I do those lessons for me. So whenever you see a Bible break, it's something I've learned, or something that I'm sharing that I've been taught, or that I learned. I think I just said that. Yeah. So if you were here for the first time, welcome. Good to have you here. Feel free to subscribe, like the video, share it with somebody else who you think might be interested in truck driving and traveling the highways. And if you've been here before, welcome back. Good to have you here. I hope you guys enjoyed the last video on my trip from Brampton, Ontario back to Langley area, where I delivered in Delta, and I had a quick reset, and I'm back at it again. I am in Chehalis over here in Washington, and as you see, I can still smell that car. I still can't believe they just let it keep burning like that. Just waiting for that thing to blow up. I wouldn't be surprised if it did blow up. But anyway, on my way to Hood River right now to pick up a load of pears, and it's going down to San Luis, which is a place I have not been for a while. Last time we delivered down there, I can't remember. It was a while ago. But things are picking up again, so we're going to start getting busy, which is good. So I'm okay with that. So that is what we're doing. And again, I welcome those back that are regular YouTubers. Thank you for your comments. Thank you for your emails. I also want to say thank you again for somebody who anonymously sent me $20 to my mailbox. Didn't even leave a note. Didn't leave an address. I don't even know who sent it to me. You know who you are. I guess you decided to buy me lunch. That was really nice. I really appreciate that. That was very kind of you, whoever you are. I do appreciate it. Thank you. I know I probably mentioned that on an update, but I wanted to make that official in this video too. And yeah, I didn't expect that. That was really kind. Yeah, so anyway, it is a little bit drizzly out. It's 10 degrees Celsius out here. We're, like I said, making our way to Hood River, which is, give or take, I don't know, 20, 30 miles east of Portland, I think, or something. I could be way off on that. But we will be loading with pairs tomorrow. And they're expecting some lousy weather to be rolling through here soon. And I'm hoping to get by it before it hits. I was told by one other guy that there's going to be a lot of snow up there on the 84 up on Cabbage and all that, and I looked at the weather forecast, just rain. It's not cold enough to snow right now up there. So should be an interesting trip. See what happens. And it's definitely good to have you here. I'm just going to open up with a quick prayer. Dear Lord, thank you for this time together with my YouTubers. Lord, would you please put a blessing on everyone that's watching this video right now, maybe a special anointing, especially those who are in need of a blessing and a healing in their life, from whether it's financial, physical, mental, whatever it might be. Would you see to their needs, Lord? And please allow me to use this video as a blessing to those watching it. I pray in Yeshua's name, amen. Amen. All right. Why do you use the word Yeshua? Why don't you say Jesus? Because Yeshua is his Hebrew name. And when the Bible says there's power in his name, I like to use his name, his real name. I mean, there's nothing wrong with calling him Jesus. It's just like using a different language. But I'd rather use the Hebrew name. That's just me. Alrighty, friends. Let's continue. Well, friends, I showed up at the shipper here, and I just went inside to ask or to confirm my order. I always do that whenever you show up at a shipper, no matter when you are loading, whether it's the same day or the next day. I always confirm the load number to make sure that they have everything in order regarding my load. Sometimes you'll go to a place and, oh, we don't have any information about this, and then you got to get a hold of your dispatch or whatever. But so all I did was go in there and ask them if the order was accurate, and the guy's like, yeah, do you want to get loaded tonight? And I'm like, really? You don't have any other trucks coming in? No, and we're here till 1 o'clock in the morning, so if you want to get loaded tonight, we can load you. I'm like, okay. So they loaded me. another Key West driver here, Kevin, nice guy. He also showed up, and they offered to load him too. And so we both got loaded, which is really cool because they're expecting a lot of trucks in the morning, evidently. A lot of trucks. And I went, oh my goodness. So it's a good thing we got loaded tonight. I got a feeling when I wake up in the morning, this lot's going to be filled with trucks. Guys are going to be showing up early in the morning. So I should be able to put in quite a few miles tomorrow because I'll be on my ag exemption for 3 hours. I'll go off of it, and then I'll probably make it to the Duckwater rest area in Nevada, which is kind of in between Ely and Alamo. So that's what I'm going to be shooting for. So, but yeah, anyway, as you guys seen, they're very, very efficient in there, and they got it all done for me. So I'll see you guys in the morning. I'm going to get some sleep. Good night. God bless you. Good morning, everybody. How are you? Well, I'm doing fantastic. I'm on my way, and I'll tell you something. I'm really glad that I got loaded up last night. Woke up this morning just to see 7 trucks in the yard over there, just parked everywhere and anywhere. And I know there's probably other trucks coming, all waiting to get loaded this morning. Well, myself and Kevin, the other driver that got loaded last night, we were already loaded. And the funny thing is, we're all faced the opposite direction, so our nose is facing the exit. So I wake up in the morning, and here's all these trucks lined up the exact same way myself and Kevin are, which is really funny. We're both laughing at that this morning. Look at all these guys, they're all lined up. They're facing the wrong way. They should be facing the other way. So now when they want to load, they got to exit the yard and come back in again. Anyway, just really, really happy that I managed to get. I mean, I could have been sitting there in a lineup right now this morning because even though we were there early, before anybody else was, there's already trucks trying to squeeze their way into the docks even though we were there first. So that's the problem with that location. Unless you are up very early to stand in line at that window, people don't have any consideration for who showed up first. So, but then again, that's kind of it wherever you go. So, unfortunately, where does consideration fall into place in this industry? It really doesn't. So, I've got 3 hours of my agricultural exemption to go. That'll take me to, that'll take me to Cabbage, which is a summit there, just a little past Pendleton. And that's where I'll go off my ag. I'll take a little break and have my, I make these little, it's not like an energy drink, but it's got vitamins and it's got collagen and everything in there. I'll have that. And then I'll get moving. And I should be able to, like I was saying before, make it in between Ely and it's a rest area there, just before you get to Alamo. Because the earlier I get to San Luis, Arizona on Sunday, the better, the more time I can take off, because I want to record a few things with Trucker Glenn, and I might even get a virtual game of golf in there. Wouldn't that be nice? Alright, as you can see, it's raining, but it ain't snowing, so I'm a happy camper. Good morning, everybody. I'm just on my way. I'm out here in Ely, Nevada. This is where I stopped last night, and I've got about 550 miles to go to get to my destination, which is roughly about 8.5 hours. So I'll probably get to San Luis around maybe about 4:30. Which is nice because it'll give me the rest of the day to do whatever I need to do, work on my video. And also I can get a full reset in, because by the time I get rolling Monday morning and get out of there, or should I say before I even get up, my clock will have reset. So that's the whole idea. Something's rattling over there. Yeah, 5 degrees Celsius out here. It's nice weather. Not bad at all. Looks like they got a little bit of snow on the top of the mountains, so I just happen to get a really good day here. Boy, my stomach is just doing some funny stuff this morning. I take a little bit of apple cider vinegar in the morning. Just about that much, a couple tablespoons, and you take that down on an empty stomach. It really feels funny in your stomach, but it's really good for you. It does a lot for your organs, your stomach, your digestive system. So I'm trying to get into a habit of doing that every morning. Sometimes I forget when I'm on a reset, but normally when I'm out here on the road, I always take it in the morning. So, we have been doing a lot of runs our company has been doing a lot of runs to Ontario. Rumor has it, this could be a regular thing, that we do like a triangle. That's what the rumor is. I have no idea if that's going to be accurate. That means all the drivers are going to have to participate in this. So, I don't know how accurate it is. I'm not the one that came up with the idea. I heard it from somebody else. But if that's the case, that really wouldn't be too bad. That would be some really good miles. And get this. My friend Jerry, co-worker, hey Jerry, a little shout out to you. Him and his dog Luca is out in Ontario right now, and he's at the same location I was parked at the en route. Now get this, when I was out there, there is multiple different colors on the trees. He's there a week later, and it's all yellow. So literally, the changes have just changed, or the colors have changed drastically from the multiple different colors, the red, the yellow, the orange, to just yellow. Now, talking about being there at the right time, I was there at the right time. But you never know, those yellow trees, those yellow leaves may turn red as well. I don't know how it works out there. But I may be through there anyway next week. I may be heading in that direction Monday or Tuesday. If that happens, that'd be great. I wouldn't mind that one bit. You guys know me. I like those longer runs. I like the different change of scenery, specifically because I know you guys enjoy it. So, there you have it. Alright, well, I will continue on here, and yeah, nice thing about today, I'll be rolling through Vegas on a Saturday, so I won't have to deal with the rush hour. And yeah, like I said, roughly 9 hours, 8.5 hours, I should be in San Luis. And I'll probably hit the Loves in San Luis and top all my fuel up when I get there. Because you just never know what might happen, right? You could get stuck there for a couple days. Reefer truck could break down. Reefer needs to be running all the time. Always got to make sure your fuel is all topped up, especially if you're parked somewhere and you're resetting. Make sure your reefer's always full. Anyway, let's continue on. Hey friends, I am here. I made it to San Luis, Arizona, and I'm just parking it, and there's nobody here but me. I like that. That means it's going to be a nice, quiet, relaxing evening. Not a bad idea. Have a nice, quiet evening. Oh man, actually the drive was pretty good today. Can't complain with that. No complaints on this end whatsoever. So I won't be delivering until Monday morning, so like I was saying before, I should be able to get a full reset in without any issue. During the weekend there, I'll see what I can do about getting my other video finished, and because I know you guys enjoy those releases. And you know, I like this little yard here that I'm at here because it there's a lot of area here you can walk around. Like when I get some exercise in the morning, you can do that. It's nice. And now that we're in the fall, it's not going to be anywhere near as hot as it normally is. So, yeah, so basically I'm just going to relax, make some dinner, maybe play a round of golf later with my buddy Adrian Scott, and yeah. So we'll see you guys probably Monday morning. Hi there, I am Ray Gaucher, and welcome to this edition of Bible Break. If you're viewing on Life on the Road with Yeshua and Trucker Ray, or on Truth and Testimony, or perhaps you're listening on the podcast, always a pleasure to have you either viewing or listening. Have a great story for you today. Obviously, it's a true story out of the Bible, John chapter 11. We're going to be reading the story of Lazarus. And the reason why I like this story, because there's prophecy involved with this. And I love the fact that Yeshua deliberately delays his return to help Lazarus, so it'll be even more of a testimony. And we will learn more about that as we go along here. But first, let's open up with prayer, shall we? Dear Lord, thank you for this opportunity to read your word. Thank you for it's not only a blessing, it's a privilege, Lord, to be able to have your word and to be able to read it when so many countries around the world forbid it. So, dear God, please allow me to not only convey this message in its proper way, but that people would understand it as I read it, and that I would be able to explain it properly. And would you bless everyone that's listening to this as well? I pray in Yeshua's name, amen. Amen. Like I said, I love this story, and I'll be reading it out of the King James translation, the revised version, the Restoration Study Bible, 4th edition. It is the King James translation, but it uses some Hebrew names. So if you have the King James translation, you can read along with me. I won't be putting the words up on the screen. I'd rather people read along with me actually in their Bibles. I don't know, there's something really special about opening your Bible. If you want, you can also pause this and open up on your computer or on your phone the King James translation and read along with it if you like. Because you can never put, if you're watching on your phone, hopefully you're not, because you're squinting and it's not good for your eyes, you'll never be able to see the print on there anyway. So that's why I always encourage to read along with me with your Bible. So if you're ready, let's begin. Chapter 11, John, verse 1. And the title of this Bible break, Lazarus, come forth. I love that when he does that. All right. Now a certain man was sick named Lazarus of Bethany, the town of Mary and her sister Martha. It was that Mary which anointed the master with ointment and wiped his feet with her hair, whose brother Lazarus was sick. You won't find out about that until the next chapter, chapter 12, when Yeshua has his feet and his head anointed with oil. And obviously, Mary Magdalene does this because of what's coming for Yeshua, because of his death that's coming. And remember, who is Mary Magdalene? Mary Magdalene had several demons in her, and she was delivered from those demons by Yeshua. Some people say that she was a prostitute. She wasn't a prostitute. Neither was Martha. She had demons in her, which she was delivered of. And so that is the story with that, a little history with that. Anyway, let's continue here. All right. So, verse 3, therefore his sisters sent unto him, saying, Master, behold, he whom thou lovest is sick. So now they're sending a message to Yeshua, which is several miles away, wherever that might be, saying that Lazarus, who you love, is sick. Now, obviously, Yeshua had a really good relationship with Mary, Martha, and Lazarus. Obviously, he loved them very much. Doesn't really show the detail on the relationship they have, but obviously it says here, behold, he whom you love is sick. Now let's continue. When Yeshua heard that, he said, this sickness is not unto death, but for the glory of Yahweh, that the Son of Yahweh might be glorified thereby. So he's letting them know already in advance that God will be glorified. Now Yeshua loved Martha and her sister and Lazarus. When he had heard, therefore, that he was sick, he abode 2 days still in the same place where he was. So even though he knew that he was sick, he held off. He waited. And I could just imagine the response of these people. Well, isn't that kind of odd? Why wouldn't you want to leave right away? Then after that saith he to his disciples, let us go into Judea again. So he waited 2 days, and then he decided to go. His disciples say unto him, Master, the Jews of late sought to stone thee, and goest thou thither again? So Yeshua said, let's go. And then you've got other disciples saying, well, isn't that where they tried to stone you? You want to go there? Obviously, they still did not realize who was before them. Yeshua answered, are there not 12 hours in a day? There's lots of time during the day. They're not always going to be watching him. If any man walk in the day, he stumbleth not, but he that seeth the light of this world. So, more or less, he's going there to be an incredible testimony to those around, possibly even those who wanted to stone him. Verse 10, but if any man walk in the night, he stumbleth because there is no light in him. I love these analogies that Yeshua uses. But if a man walketh, so I'll read this again. Yeshua answered, are there not 12 hours in the day? If any man walk in the day, he stumbleth not because he see the light of the world. But if any man walk at night, he stumbleth because there is no light in him. Obviously, you're going to stumble at night if you don't see any light. But he also makes mention, if there's no light in the world, you're going to stumble, because it's all darkness, it's all evil. These things said he, and after that he saith unto them, Our friend Lazarus sleepeth, but I go that I may awake him out of the sleep. So he's telling them he's just sleeping, don't worry about it. Even though they're like, okay. I don't think the people going with him yet know that he has died. Because when he gets there, you're going to see that Lazarus was dead for a while. Then said his disciples, Master, if he sleep, he shall do well. We don't even need to go there if he's only sleeping. Howbeit Yeshua spake of his death, but they thought that he had spoken of taking a rest and sleep. So Yeshua made it sound like that, he's just resting. He's fine. But Yeshua he was saying something completely different. Then said Yeshua unto them plainly, Lazarus is dead, and I am glad for your sake, that I was not there, to the intent that ye may believe. Nevertheless, let us go unto him. So he did. He flat out said he's dead, but I'm glad you're here to see what's going to happen. Then said Thomas, which is called Didymus, I think it is, which is doubting Thomas, unto his fellow disciples, Let us go, that we may die with him. So here is Thomas saying, let's just go, that we can die with him. Not having a whole lot of faith, of course, doubting Thomas. Then when Yeshua came, he found that he had lain in the grave 4 days already. Now remember, he made his way there after being delayed 2 days. So that means Lazarus had died 2 days prior to Yeshua even leaving. Okay? It's been in there 4 days. Now Bethany was nigh unto Jerusalem, about 15 furlongs off. And many of the Jews came to Martha and Mary to comfort them concerning their brother. Then Martha, as soon as she heard that Yeshua was coming, went and met him. But Mary sat still in the house. Mary obviously was very distraught. Then said Martha unto Yeshua, Master, if thou hadst been here, my brother had not died. If you would have been here, he wouldn't have died. But I know that even now whatsoever thou wilt ask of Yahweh, Yahweh will give it to thee. So there's Martha already showing her faith. If he wouldn't have died if he would have been here. But now that you're here, if you ask Elohim, Father in heaven, to raise him from the dead, he will do whatever you ask. It's incredible faith right there. Yeshua said unto her, Thy brother shall rise again. Here's a little prophecy here for you, friends. Martha said unto him, I know that he shall rise again in the resurrection at the last day. Now, I don't want to turn this into a post-trib discussion, but even Martha knew, and she didn't have a Bible to reference. She had the Torah to reference. Even Martha knew that the resurrection happens on the last day. Not 7 years before, not 12 years before, not 3 years before. The last day is the resurrection. There's two resurrections. There's one of good and there's the one of the evil at the very, very end. But the very first resurrection are those in Christ. I'll read this again. Martha saith unto him, I know that he shall rise again in the resurrection at the last day. It can't be more clear than that. Whether you believe in a post-trib or pre-trib, that really doesn't matter. What matters is that we all believe in the same God and what he can do and how amazing he is. So please don't unsubscribe and run away because I believe in a post-trib. I just have not found any evidence in the Bible that proves there's a pre-trib rapture, especially if you in John, the book of John, Yeshua says it 3 times that I will raise him up on the last day. I will raise him up on the last day, and I will raise him up on the last day. And even Martha. So 4 times in the book of John, it is referenced that we will be risen on the last day. And what will be the last day? The last day is when the last trumpet blows, when Yeshua returns. All right, let's go. Verse 25, Yeshua said unto her, I am the resurrection and the life. He that believeth in me, though he were dead, yet shall he live. And whosoever liveth and believeth in me shall never die. Believest thou this? Do you believe this? She saith unto him, Yes, Master, I believe that thou art the Messiah, the Son of Yahweh, which should come into the world. That's amazing. And when she had so said, she went her way and called Mary her sister secretly. So Martha now is going to go get Mary Magdalene, saying, The Master is come and calleth for thee. As soon as she heard that, she arose quickly and came unto him. Now Yeshua was not yet come into the town, but was in the place where Martha had met him. The Jews then, which were with her in the house, and comforted her when they saw Mary, that she rose up hastily and went out and followed her, saying, She goeth unto the grave to weep there. So they're all saying, oh, Mary Magdalene, she's going to go weep at the grave. Still, nobody knows what's going to happen here. Then when Mary was come where Yeshua was, and saw him, she fell down at his feet, saying unto him, Master, if thou hadst been here, my brother would have not died. When Yeshua therefore saw her weeping, and the Jews also weeping, which came with her, he groaned in his spirit and was troubled. And they said, he said, Where have ye laid him? They said unto him, Master, come and see. Yeshua wept. Then said the Jews, Behold how we loved him. So they actually thought, this is my speculation, they thought that Yeshua was crying because Lazarus had died. He wasn't crying because of that, in my opinion. I could be wrong. Check for yourself. Do your own research. He was touched by everybody because they were brokenhearted. Now, whenever I see something on TV where somebody's affected by the loss of a child, how a parent groans and cries, or if a child cries because something bad's happened to them, I get teary-eyed. I get emotional because I don't like to see people in pain. I don't like to see people hurt. It really troubles me when I see people crying because of something that could have been prevented or something that happened in their life. Maybe it couldn't be prevented. I also get a lot of joy when I see people happy. I'll give you an example. I was watching some reruns of The Price is Right, Bob Barker era. And when you see people win stuff, and they get all excited and cherry-fire, and they're even crying a little bit. Or or people get reunited when they haven't seen family members in years that were lost or whatever, and they start to cry. I get emotional when I see that. I get emotional when I see people happy and when I see people sad. And I do believe this was the situation with Yeshua. He was showing his emotion because it touched him so much on how much those people loved him. And it grieved him to see these people crying and hurt and mourning because we are his children, and what parent would not groan or grieve over our pain? All right, verse 36. Then said the Jews, Behold how he loved him. And some of them said, Could not this man which opened the eyes of the blind have caused that even this man should not have died? So he opened the eyes of the blind. He couldn't have prevented him from dying? Yeshua therefore again groaned in himself, coming to the grave. It was a cave. Now here we go. This is where Yeshua is going to show and the most amazing miracle yet, I believe. And a stone was laid upon the grave. Yeshua said, Take ye away the stone. Martha, the sister of him that was dead, said unto the master, said unto him, Master, by this time he stinks. Oh, we don't want to roll this away. He's already dead. He's now decomposing. He stinks. For he's been in there 4 days, she says. Yeshua saith unto her, said I not unto thee that if thou would believe, thou would see the glory of Elohim? Didn't I tell you if you would believe, you would see the glory of Elohim? Then they took away the stone, from the place where the dead was laid. And Yeshua lifted up his eyes and said, Father, I thank thee that thou hast heard me. So Yeshua was praying and asking the Lord, if it be your will, can I do this?
Amazing, the relationship the Father and the Son have. And I knew that thou hearest me always, but because of the people which stand by, I said it, that they may believe that thou hast sent me. Amazing. And when he thus had spoken, he cried with a loud voice, Lazarus, come forth. And he that was dead came forth, bound hand and foot with grave clothes, and his face was bound about with a napkin. Yeshua saith unto them, loose him and let him go. Can you imagine the reaction? Can you imagine it? This guy was dead 4 days, and he raises him from the dead, and he is restored. Incredible. Then many of the Jews which came to Mary and had seen the things which Yeshua did believed on him. This is why Yeshua delayed his time there. This is why he made sure that that man, Lazarus, was decomposing. He already was stinking. He needed to make sure that there was no doubt that he was dead. That they couldn't say, well, maybe he wasn't quite dead. He sat there 4 days and he was already smelling. And you could probably smell that, because when the rock was over the cave, it wasn't airtight. They could probably still smell it as you walked by it. Again, I'm going to read 45 and then I'll finish it up with 46. Then many of the Jews which came to Mary and had seen the things which Yeshua did believed on him. But some of them went their ways to the Pharisees and told them what things Yeshua had done. Now, why do you think they went to the Pharisees to report this? Probably to raise a little you-know-what. Because even though, it's incredible, even though Yeshua did these things, there was still demons in these other people out to destroy him. But friends, I hope that was inspiring for you. I love that story. I love the fact that Yeshua waited. He delayed his time. Do you remember the story where Yeshua was visited by a rich man? I think it was a rich man or a very prominent man. Or no, actually, he might have been a Roman. Please, I don't have it in front of me. But he was visited by, maybe it was a centurion or something. But anyway, he said that my servant is sick. Remember that? My servant is sick. But if you just say the word, he'll be healed. And Yeshua was amazed by his faith. He says, your servant is well. Go home to him. And of course, he went home to him and he was well. Yeshua could have done that for Lazarus, but he delayed it on purpose. So those that seen it doesn't tell us in Scripture how many people seen this resurrection. But I would guess, because this was a hometown friend, this was somebody that everybody knew. I do believe that a lot of people were saved. As it says in here, a lot of people believed after this. I don't know the numbers, but obviously this is why Yeshua did this. So those that seen it would truly believe it, and that God would receive incredible glory. Well, friends, I hope you've enjoyed this Bible break. I've really enjoyed bringing it to you. Until we do this again next time, remember to subscribe, like, and do share the video, and feel free to leave a comment underneath. And also, I wanted to encourage you to leave a comment when Adrian Scott posts a Bible break or anything else on Truth and Testimony. But a lot of the time, the Bible breaks will end up, or anything that we upload on our podcast ends up on my main channel. Please do me a favor and leave him a comment and let him know how well he's doing and that you appreciate what he does. I would appreciate it if you did that. So blessings in the name of Yeshua, all of you, and we'll see you next time. Bye for now.
Well, good afternoon, everybody. I am out here still in Yuma. Did my delivery yesterday into Mexico and made my way over to the slums out here in Yuma to wait for my next load. and I was really hoping I was going to go to Ontario again, but that load went to somebody else, and rightly so. He got over the border before I did, so I'm not going to complain about that. So it turns out that the load that I have is a I got to pick up in San Diego tomorrow and take that load to Vancouver, which is going to get delivered in Vancouver. So I'll have to deliver that Saturday morning. So I got plenty of time. Let me see, tomorrow's Tuesday, or tomorrow's Wednesday. Oh, that's not giving me much time to get back. Let's see, Wednesday, Thursday. Oh yeah, that's fine. I was just thinking, yeah, no, it's not. I'm so used to delivering like 3 in the morning, so I was thinking Saturday, probably 1 a.m. It's not giving me much time. But I'm guessing that delivery is going to be like 7 or 8 o'clock in the morning on a Saturday. So, yeah, that's kind of what I got planned. And I'm ready to pull out here right now. I've already done my pre-trip. And I'm going to get out of here. This place is a bit of a cluster muck when it wants to be. As you can see, all these lines in front, that's all for bobtail parking, but that didn't stop guys with their trucks and trailers yesterday from park here. It was a mess. People couldn't get out, people couldn't get in. Fortunately, there's a pilot being built right across the street. That's not up and running yet. Okay, this guy's gonna get over. Thank you. So that place isn't being built as of yet. They're still building it. Probably see the sign as we go over there. And that'll add some additional parking, because this Maverick that they just built across the street's kind of useless. The only thing it's good for is fuel. No parking there, even though there's lots of potential to park there. So, yeah, they're building the pilot right across the street, right in that little area there. It used to be an open area where there used to be a wash guy over there. And I guess Pilot bought that land, which is kind of cool, because the Pilot down on Fontaine, well, it was a dealer, it wasn't really a Pilot. Yeah, place was an absolute dive. So there's the place right there. You guys can get a look at that there. And I got a feeling they're gonna have some decent parking in there. So I got to get into this other lane, because for once I'm actually going west, which is kind of funny. So I'm going to get over here. And yeah, picking up a load of bananas, which, gee, when's the last time I was in San Diego? A while. And San Diego is a beautiful little spot. If I was going to live anywhere in California, if I was ever going to live in California, if it actually went to a Republican state and they weren't so crazy over there, and Newsom was out, and I ever wanted to move to California, it would be the San Diego area for sure. It is so nice there. I remember going there one time and all I seen was palm trees everywhere, and the weather was really nice because it's real close to the ocean, so it wasn't like scorching heat. It was just a beautiful little place to live. It really is. So, full tank of fuel. I don't really have to load until tomorrow morning. It's only 3 hours away from here, but I figured, you know what? If I have an opportunity to get there earlier and get parked somewhere, then maybe I'll only have an hour drive in the morning or half an hour drive in the morning, because I definitely got the time right now. So you might as well. Yeah, might as well. Yep. And speaking of, see the vote Donald Trump sign there? It is election day today in the USA. And obviously by the time you've seen this, you know what the outcome is, but I don't. I'm pretty sure I know which way it's going to go, unless there's some shenanigans that happen. But I think it's kind of obvious the direction it's going to go. And yeah, just going to wait it out and see what the results are going to be later on. Okay. I forgot, there's a commercial wait station coming up here as we make our way into the California state, because the border is just up here. And we're empty, so we should not obviously have any issue. But yeah, I was watching some of the fighter jets leaving the airbase over here. Wow, that is really neat to see. That's one of the things I really enjoy when I come to Yuma, especially if you park right over there at the Loves and soon to be Pilot. You'll get a beautiful view of those fighter jets taking off all the time. And it's really a shame I can't fly the drone, because that would be amazing to see them lift off. But obviously that is going to be closed airspace, and with the new drones nowadays, you can't even get the thing off the ground, let alone even get the propellers to move if you're in a restricted area. Okay. Is this wait station open? Oh, it's closed. Because I see the sign right there. I couldn't tell. You don't see the lights. This is an older one, but that is not the port of entry for California. That is definitely not the California port of entry. That is still Arizona DOT right there. So as you can see, it's a gorgeous, beautiful day, and really been an effortless trip up here. Like I said, I was hoping to get back to Ontario again, but maybe next time around I'll get that. But in the meantime, we'll pick up in San Diego, then we'll just have to make our way up the I-5 towards Vancouver to do our delivery for Saturday morning. And I'll probably have the hours to come all the way back if I want it, and just turn right away, or then you never know, they might get me to do a reset and they'll send me out Monday morning or Monday afternoon or whatever. We'll see what happens. Yeah. Yeah. Good morning. I'm just out here in Pine Valley, which is about 50 miles east of San Diego, where I have to go pick up my reload. As I mentioned. And I woke up this morning to some pretty crazy weather. Really windy. Just one second. doing a 6-pack. For those of you that might be wondering what that is, there's automatic slack adjusters on the unit, truck and trailer. So when you give 6 full of brake applications, it really should set the slack adjusters automatically. Really windy out here. I tried to take a walk. I was actually going to get a little drone footage of this area. No way I'm putting my drone up in this wind. I think the drone would really perform well, but I'm not taking a chance. The whole truck, I woke up this morning and the whole truck's doing this. I'm like, oh my word. But I looked on the weather app. Looks like the wind is blowing west, which is really good because that means it'll be pushing me to San Diego, which works for me. If I can just get a hold of my seatbelt here. No, I got something banging over there and I know what that is. It's my, oh, I gotta put my jacket behind it. My bolt cutters. I can't put it in the jockey box anymore. I don't have any room for it because I've got extra fluids in there for the winter in case I need washer fluid or anything else. So I needed to make some room. I get to see what this is going to be like driving in this. I'm going to really be feeling the wind on the side of the trailer until I get over that little hill over there. As soon as I get over that hill, that's where the wind will actually, should I say, that's when I'll be actually going due west, and that's where the wind is blowing against. So right now, I'm facing northeast right now. So, and you know what's really funny? I wasn't sure where I was going. It's been a long time since I've been to this place. And the place I'm going to basically is a port that a lot of stuff comes in from China. You'll have bananas, which I'm picking up. You'll have televisions, which my friend Ryan is picking up. And you'll get a lot of other stuff that's all manufactured overseas. It comes in on the containers. So I decided to fire up the Google map and take a look at the street view, and I'm like, wait a minute, I've been there before. I have been there before. But my hair's not sticking up, it was really windy. And I'm like, wow, okay, I know exactly where I'm going. And of course I looked at the reviews, and the reviews are always mixed. What is vibrating here? Whoa, look at that, feel that wind. Whoa! Is that ever blowing? I wonder if it's just in this little spot in here that it's really bad. Border Patrol, checkpoint, 2 miles, it's closed, good. Yeah, so anyway, I've been to that place before. It's right off the port. I remember seeing a lot of naval ships in the port there when I was there last time. So maybe we'll get a chance to see some of that again. So it is the day after the election. The results are in last night, late last night, early this morning if you were back east. Donald Trump won. And he won. He won in a landslide, in my opinion, because he got the popular vote. A lot of people get mad when someone wins by the Electoral College, but he won by the popular vote, and that's huge. So I'm a bit relieved. I know some of you may disappear off my channel in a hurry because you know what? I just want what's best for the country, because it will also affect Canada. And you can't deny that the last 4 years have been an absolute nightmare in the US. Whether you like the person in office or not, it can't get worse than it was. It could only get better, in my opinion. And you have to admit When Trump was in office the 4 years, the economy was amazing. Whether you like him or not, he's a businessman, he knows what he's doing. So I see big and better things happening for the next 4 years. And 80 million people can't be wrong who voted. They haven't even brought in all the votes yet from Nevada and Arizona and that. So, but anyway, whoa, we're not here to talk politics. We're here to see if we can stay on the road. Wow, that was a gust. No, that was not good. Oh, this place is closed. I guess they decided they were gonna. It's kind of strange. Why would they be closed? Or they're just not open yet, or they're taking a break, maybe. Weird. Anywho, we will make our way to the San Diego area there. It's actually just south of San Diego, not far from the Mexican border. And they do have overnight parking there, so there will be. My appointment is not till 4 p.m., but I'm going to get in there early because if I show up an hour or two before, that's going to be sticking me in some really, really bad traffic. And yeah, no, I don't think it'll be good. I'm going to get there early and get parked while I can get a chance to get parked in there, because I have no idea how long it's going to take them to load me there. I just can't remember last time I was there. I've only been to that place once, so I don't remember how long it takes for them to load me. Well, we'll see when we get there. Into the San Diego area. Figured I'd drive in with you guys. Pretty close, only 2 miles away. They are called Four Seasons. But I'll bet you anything there is no sign on the wall to say that I've arrived at the right place. They never do in these places. You never see the signage on the walls or nothing. And I do remember that right across from the Mile of Cars Way, that's funny. I do remember right across from where I'm going to be loading, there's a massive lot there. And it's all cars that have come off the boats, off the barges. It's just up here on the right. Getting closer. No, we won't need a Twix card or nothing. We're not really going on the port. We're actually going to a dock, a cross dock rather. Look at all the palm trees around here. You gotta like that. I loved it. I like it. The waterfront grill. That's not the way I want to go. Four-way stops, Ray. Just got to pay attention to make sure I turn left at the right spot. It's got to be this one coming up here because there's Dole right there. So I'm guessing I'm turning left right here. And there's the place across the street with all of the cars. There it is. I think I found it. I have found it, friends. Yep, this is the same place. Alright, now I gotta find the parking. Or find any kind of parking. Because I know that spot right there, they put all the containers. And you can't park in there. They will give you Supremo. I'm trying to say it in a nice way. They will give you a hard time if you park in that spot. This is why I wanted to show up a little bit earlier. There's a spot right there I can park, right there.
Morning.
Morning. Is this check-in over here?
There's one right there. You just walk past it. There's another one over here. You got your choice. You catch that one or catch that one.
Alrighty.
That way, if you got any questions, stick your head in and go, hey, Eric, how do I do this?
Okay, thank you. Alrighty, I'm all checked in. I kind of like that. They could have easily said, oh, you're too early. You need to go. Come back later. It's like, no. Lots of parking here. Nice weather. Just gonna go over to this food truck here and see what they got over here. See what they got. It sure smells good. Oh my goodness. What are they cooking in there? Oh, that smells good.
Yep.
What on earth is he cooking?
He's got a burger.
Huh?
Cheeseburger.
A cheese what?
Cheeseburger.
Oh, cheeseburger. That's what he's making? Have you had it before?
No, supposed to.
Oh. How much does he charge for the cheeseburger?
I don't know.
You don't know. Surprise. Okay. Hello. How much is your cheeseburger? Okay. Does that come with fries? 12? Okay. No, I'm still thinking. Oh, that's about right. 12 bucks. But I think I got $15 American on me, and I want to save that in case I need it for a scale. I'm just going to double check my trailer to make sure. I know I checked it last time, but I just want to double check it and make sure it's okay. I think it's all right. I don't think they're going to complain about that. But I might give it a sweep anyway. Probably would give it a sweep anyway. It's so funny. I asked the guy if I could strap the singles, and he was really confused. He didn't know what I was talking about. I says, well, you're going to put single, double, single in there. Can I strap the singles? No one's ever asked me that before, he said. He had to get permission from his manager. I says, well, it's not a big deal. If you can't, you can't. It's just a way to secure the load better. But it was so funny how he's never heard ever anybody ask him that before. So I thought that was kind of funny. It's like, I'm not trying to be too meticulous or anything. We want the load to be secure. Because sometimes you go over train tracks. You might have to do a heavy brake, or you may have to merge out of the way really fast to get away from somebody. Someone who's,
driving erratic. So, yeah. So anyway, I guess I just wait. I don't know. They may have my load early for me. They may not. So all I can do is wait it out. I'll make myself some lunch.
This is Trucker's Corner with Trucker Glenn.
Hi everyone, it is Trucker Ray with you, and with me, Trucker Glenn. Welcome to Trucker's Corner. How you doing, my friend? How are you today?
Hello, Ray. I'm great as usual.
Yes, and
good to be back.
So how does it feel knowing that winter's here and you don't have to go out into this stuff? Like, well, it's not bad where I'm at, but it's starting to snow now on the passes. How does it feel not have to deal with that anymore?
Well, Ray,
you miss it, right?
I do.
Do you?
I watch Highway through Hell, and I have to put it on pause, leave the room, and go settle down because I'm getting too antsy.
No, I mean, do you miss it at all?
No, I don't.
Well,
in a word, no.
50 years of driving, and how many miles again was that? 5 million miles or something like that?
At least that, yeah.
Yeah, I guess
I wouldn't mind taking a run from, say, Vancouver down to Texas or Florida and then come back.
Yeah.
You know, do that once every in a while, but I'm just not into winter or cold anymore.
Yeah.
You know, so
yeah, that's understandable.
I always feel bad for the guys when there's a really bad, when the passes are bad. I think, oh my gosh, I remember what I went through, and I have a lot of sympathy and respect for them.
Well, you know what? I actually, maybe I'm nuts, but I actually look forward to it. I look forward to the challenge because I see it as a challenge.
Yeah, okay? I agree. You are nuts.
Yeah, and
no, I used to like it too. I mean, I used to say to Mother Nature, okay, do your best, throw it at me because I'm coming. But not anymore.
Yeah. Well, speaking of winter, now that we are making our way closer to the winter season, we wanted to talk about something today that I think is very, very important, that I think a lot of drivers don't think about, and that is, are you prepared for a road closure? Are you prepared for a serious road closure? Not something just for a few hours. I'm talking days if there is a major storm, and what you should have in your truck.
And especially when you're blocked on either end and nobody can get through, like they're not going to send a meal truck out to you, like a coffee truck or whatever, because they can't get to you. And that has happened in British Columbia highways where I've been stuck for, I think it was 3 or 4 days. We were stuck. We couldn't go east or west. We were just right there. So
yeah, because I still know personally some drivers that still rely on truck stop food. And they pick up their supplies at truck stops. And I know some drivers I've seen in their truck, and I'm looking around. Yes, their truck looks nice and clean, but there ain't nothing in there. It's like no water. They have maybe 2 or 3 big jugs of water that they purchased at a truck stop. Yeah. And they don't really even have any food. I know one other driver too that doesn't really have any food or anything. He doesn't even have a microwave. Yeah. So, I mean, especially during the winter. Sorry?
Yeah. I think most trucks have microwaves and fridges now, don't they?
No. Well, they have a fridge. A lot of them have fridges, but they don't. I've never seen a truck supplied with a microwave.
Oh.
No.
Well, they should be.
Yeah.
That should be a necessity, same as an inverter.
Yeah.
So you can run your microwave, and that's a thing now. When inverters first came out, they were way overpriced.
Oh yeah.
And now they're quite reasonable to have and easy to hook up, and your shop will hook it up for you if they don't trust you to do it. But I've always thought, like you mentioned, water is such an important thing because it'll heat you up really good. You know, if you're having tea or soup, or you know, lots of times I used to carry that Ichiban soup all the time, and a roasted chicken, and I bust my chicken all up into pieces, and I'd have put it with my Ichiban soup, and that was a good meal.
Mm-hmm.
And it carried you for a long time, right?
Yeah.
But I guess if you don't have any of that stuff, they've got some of these heater. They'll plug into your cigarette lighter. They got like an element on the bottom of your cup. I don't like them, but I guess if you can't afford anything else, that's okay.
Yeah. Yeah. So I would say probably the most important thing that you should have plenty of, and that's water. I personally, when I go to Costco, I buy 2 packs of 36 bottles of water, and I have a cooler that's in front of my passenger seat. I put 1 pack under the cooler so it just elevates the cooler a little bit, and then I actually take all the bottles out of the second pack and stuff them in behind the cooler and that. So it's literally, I have plenty of water. So I have found myself in situations, not obviously this winter, we're not even into it yet, but I remember one time being stuck up on Rogers Pass. There was a fatality up there, and the highway was closed down for 24 hours, and there was a 4-wheeler that was in front of me that had little kids, and I was offering them water because and whatever food I had at that particular time, and they were extremely grateful. And it's not only that, even the 4-wheelers, right, when they're traveling, they're not expecting this stuff to happen. So
Right.
Water absolutely is number one to have lots of. What else can you think of?
Chocolate bars, you know, that's
Really?
That keeps you going to, I used to eat chocolate bars and potato chips by the, you know.
Well, I wouldn't recommend that.
I would. You got to have those, you know. But yeah, like I was just saying, like those. I know. Okay.
Eat them at the same time.
That's right.
Yeah, I think what you're trying to say is you want something that's going to give you energy, right?
Yeah, that's what I was getting at right before you were making fun of me.
Okay. All right. So, chocolate bars and chips, definitely to stimulate the senses.
For sure. That's the top of the list. And I just mentioned earlier those barbecue chickens that you buy at the
Costco,
grocery
Walmart
store.
Yeah.
You can get like 5 or 6 meals out of those things.
Oh, you used to be able to go to Costco and get a really good sized barbecue chicken cooked, and that would last 3 meals. Now they've shrunken them down to a meal and a half, but they still have the same size packaging. Everything's getting smaller. But yeah, that's a good thing to have too, but it's hard to have those in your fridge and eat them before they go bad. So what's the next best thing? Get a freezer. That's what I have. And I can't say enough about it, how important it is. I have got mine on the top of my bunk up here. It's a good size freezer. It's a double zone freezer. I don't think you've ever seen it, have you? It's a double zone freezer. Mm-hmm. You can have one side that's refrigerated. You can have one side that's frozen. And I have both sides frozen. So when I go to Costco, I literally buy 4 barbecue chickens. I wait for them to cool down, of course, and then I put them in there. I buy steaks. I buy butter. I buy anything that you can freeze. And I put it up there. I literally have probably 2 weeks supply of food in that thing right now. And that's just in the freezer. I have enough water to last me. Sorry?
Another good thing is canned goods.
Sure.
I used to eat lots of pork and beans and tuna or salmon. You can get that.
Tuna and sardines.
Yeah. Sardines is
good
really
protein.
Good. Yeah.
Good protein.
Yeah. Good protein. Anything canned goods. Nowadays you can get just about anything. Fruits and vegetables and as long as you finish when you open a can, because sometimes they're a little hard to keep. But you want something that's filling. That's the main thing. That's those Ichiban soups. I mean, they're not really that good for you, I would suppose, because they're, but they do in a pinch. Yeah,
I've got quite a bit of canned food up here on the top one here. I've got sardines. I've got tuna. I've got other canned food up there, canned Spam. I have a lot of that stuff I don't even touch until it starts to get close to the expiry, and then I eat it, and then I stock back up on it again. I've got a big thing of peanut butter. I don't eat it all the time, but it's great protein, and also there's sugar inside there to give you whatever energy you need. So, and if you've got spare room in your jockey box, there's nothing wrong with stocking up on all this different canned food that's got an expiry date of 6 months to a year. So you can never have too much food in your truck.
Yeah, a lot of times you can get most of the bigger food chains have got case lot sales going on. That's when you buy that stuff.
Yeah,
canned soup or whatever.
Like beef stew in a can.
Yeah,
and also microwave. If you don't have one, get one, because they're very, very handy. I mean, you can cook up your food. I mean, if you have no other way of cooking, I also have a hot plate that I can plug into my inverter, so I can boil water with it. And also, if something happened, because I have an inverter, or should I say an APU unit, auxiliary power unit, that's battery operated, and that thing will last quite a long time. If I'm stuck in a snowstorm and it's freezing, I can plug that hot plate in if I got no heat, and that will do a great job of warming up the sleeper if you closed your curtains. So
your curtains.
there's not a bad thing. Microwave, I also have a cooker that I can cook my steaks in. Pretty well prepare yourself where you don't have to rely on a truck stop to eat. I don't think any driver should never have that. I think all drivers should have the means of cooking whatever they have, and literally this is the way I look at it. Just prepare yourself in case you're stuck somewhere for a week and you have no resources at all. Make sure you have enough for that. You're never going to be stuck at a road closure that long, but I would say make sure you have at least a week. I know I have at least a month supply, but not everybody does that, because I literally live out of the truck, so that's why I do it.
Yeah, and right underneath chocolate bars and chips, coffee.
Yeah.
You gotta have your coffee with you. And you can get these little, they're French presses, but they've got little percolators, like 1 or 2 cup percolators that you can get. Just buy yourself a tin of coffee and away you go.
Yeah.
And, I know when I've been stopped, there was one of the fellas his wife was running with him, and she had a big percolator, and she was giving us all coffee, and boy, did that ever hit the spot when everybody was outside and cold. And I don't know what we were doing, but it was pretty good.
Yeah.
Or tea if you're a tea drinker, right?
Well, I have one of those Keurig machines. It's a single cup. It's called the Keurig Mini. And really all it does, you just top it up and it makes you one single cup of coffee, and it'll make you a nice big cup of coffee. It's also really nice too, because you can use that for soup. If you want to make chicken noodle soup, or you want to do soup in a cup, that Keurig machine is a miracle. That thing heats up to a boiling point in 2 minutes. It's incredible.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, it's really, really good. And it's small and convenient, and you just stick it in the cupboard. But the funny thing is, I bought that so I could have a coffee in the morning, but I never buy any cream, so I don't like drinking coffee without cream. So it's like, okay, well, I haven't used it in such a long time, but...
Yeah, I drink it black, and you'll find if you eat chocolate bars and chips, you'll enjoy your coffee black.
I find, okay, off the subject, I know this sounds kind of funny, but anybody that follows me would know that I take apple cider vinegar in the morning. And some people are like, oh, I ain't taking that. That's terrible. It's really amazing for your organs, your digestive system, your liver, your kidneys. Just a small amount of apple cider vinegar. You just shoot that back, swig back some water. But I'll tell you something. If you really want to know how good coffee tastes, you take a little bit of that apple cider vinegar, shoot it back. Don't dilute it with water. Just shoot it back and have a drink of your coffee. Oh, does that coffee ever taste amazing? Because that apple cider vinegar is so sour. When you have that coffee, it's like you feel like you're drinking coffee from where it originally the beans were grown. It's quite amazing there. But
yes.
Anything in particular that you used to make sure that you always were stocked up on, obviously besides water?
Well, like I said, the canned goods, that was a major thing. and the lots of water, the soup, and the chicken. Like I lived off that stuff. And when I got tired of that, I would just have a restaurant meal. But
Yeah.
we're talking about being blocked and road closure, and I would say that when you're buying stuff, don't buy a truckload of the same stuff, because you're going to get tired of eating it, and it just takes the fun out of a road closure, right?
Yeah, you want a little variety.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
But so it all depends on the person's taste. Some guys wouldn't eat the Ichiban soup because there's too much chemicals in it. But
At a road closure, you're not thinking about that.
you don't care. Yeah,
Yeah.
you're just looking at making it through. But a good hot cup of coffee or hot cup of soup, boy, that warms you up and keeps you going.
Yeah.
And that's the main thing. You wanna be able to maintain your body heat, your body strength, and all that.
Last year, I'm trying to remember what state it was. I can't remember offhand, but last year there was a major snowstorm back east. And it was on the news that there was one particular truck stop that got shut right down. The snow was literally up to the doors on the trucks. Trucks could not leave. The drivers could barely make it into the store, but it didn't take no more than 24 to 48 hours for that store to be completely cleaned of all its resources, its food, everything. So even if you're at a truck stop thinking, yeah, you're fine, even if there's a bad snowstorm, they're going to run out of food. They're not going to have any supply trucks coming in. Make sure, I can't say this enough, make sure you have enough to sustain yourself in case something happens where you break down, there's a road closure, or something goes wrong where you need to be able to feed yourself for at least a good solid week, because, boy, I can't say that enough. And if you're wondering, well, how do you have a freezer in your truck? How do you plug something like that in? The one I got online. It's a good size freezer. It's a huge freezer, and they literally plug into your inverter, and they are a compressor freezer. There's nothing running in there. It's a compressor, so it gets to the temperature, the cooling, the frozen temperature, and then it literally shuts itself off and it maintains it. I can literally plug that thing into a cigarette lighter. I can plug it into a cigarette lighter and it'll run it. So it's not like plugging a regular freezer in where all of a sudden you need 220 amps or volts or whatever it is to run that thing. I can plug that thing into my cigarette lighter. So it's pretty amazing. So I recommend that. I really do. Because, man, you can get so much food into a freezer. You really can. And it'll last you for months. Hamburger,
and of course,
beef.
The only time that would be a problem is if you don't keep the same truck all the time. But if you're in the same truck, that's because it's like a major move every time you switch trucks.
And another thing too, if you are a person that lives out of your truck, I recommend it. If you go home every 2 weeks or every week and you go home for 3 days, well, then just supply yourself with whatever you're going to need to sustain you for the week, because then you have to take all that food with you because the inverters, or not the inverter, but the APU units in these trucks, if your truck is sitting for 4 days, they're only going to last for so long, and then everything's going to shut off, and then your freezer is going to thaw. So the reason why I don't worry about that is because I'm always in the truck. So I'm trying to think of a few other things that would be really handy, but I don't know. I think we've covered quite a bit. Anything else you want to touch on?
Medicine.
Exactly, medicine.
Yeah, if you're taking any particular medicine for whatever,
good point.
1,001 things, you should always make sure you got at least a week's supply of your meds in your truck.
Yeah, very good point.
Yeah,
and
a lot of people don't think of that. Even in, you could maybe come up on a truck stop, but they might not necessarily have what you need. Yeah, until you hit a major town.
I know this sounds funny. Make sure you have paper towel, you have TP. Yeah. Make sure you have everything to sustain you. The medicine is a great idea. I probably would have overlooked that because I don't require any medicine. Even so much as vitamins, anything that you're used to taking and that you would want to replenish, say every week or every few days or whatever, make sure you got plenty of it. You're full of great ideas. What else can you think of?
I don't know. You didn't tell me that I was full of that the other day. Anyways, no, like I said, clothing,
Yeah.
make sure you got a few, if you normally take 4 or 5 days clothing changes, have a little duffel bag where you got another 2 or 3 or 4 changes in there.
Yeah.
And that'll help too, right? Because, yourself, a change of clothes is as good as a good night's rest type thing.
Absolutely.
But other than that, I mean, we talked about what you'll need to stay warm and all that in your truck if your truck was running. So,
Yep.
Just make sure you're up on all the latest and the greatest, like so you can survive a road closure.
Yeah. I mean, have matches, a lighter. It's not a bad idea to have candles because candles give off a lot of heat. You can literally be stuck with absolutely nothing running and have 1 or 2 candles going in your little sleeper, and you'd be surprised how much heat is generated off of a candle.
Yeah.
So, candles, a lighter, whatever. Just absolutely be prepared, and like you would at home.
Yeah.
If something is going to go wrong or you have a power outage, especially if you're out on the highway, because like we were saying, if you get stranded somewhere and there's a road closure and there's nothing else around, well, you got a problem unless you're prepared. So be prepared.
Yeah, and even I think you mentioned too before about having a little hibachi, one of those things that that you can, like a mini barbecue or whatever, that you could put out there and cook with.
Yeah.
Or the little propane bottles with just a little one element or one burner stove.
Sure.
I mean, you can use your imagination. If you can't afford to get into the lifestyle that requires a lot of money to stock your truck with equipment, then just use the basics.
Well, I mean, a lot of that stuff is very affordable. I mean, you can get a lot of that stuff on Amazon for next to nothing. I mean, I didn't buy everything that I have all at once. I just added to it. And when I seen something, that looks like something like, for example, I have a hot plate up here that you plug in. I've never used it, but I have one in case I do need it. Yeah. And I do have my grill that I cook my meat on, and my freezer is always running, and my cooler is works fine. So, and the nice thing too about the freezer is that because it's so frozen solid in there, if that thing shut off, or if I lost all my power, it'd probably keep everything frozen in there for quite a long time, considering if you have no heat in your truck, you don't have to worry about your food thawing out on you.
Right,
so, but the bottom line is be prepared out there, friends. We'd hate to
be prepared.
see you out there stranded on the side of the road somewhere, a road closure, or stuck at a truck stop, or an avalanche, or whatever might happen. Don't think it won't happen, because it's just a matter of time before it does.
Yeah. And the weather's so crazy now, you just don't know. It might not be snow. It could be rain washout. Look at all the places now that their main highway system and bridges are washed out because they're having,
or
so
a major
much rain.
earthquake somewhere, and it shuts down a whole bunch of interstates or whatever. Really, I mean, the reason why we're talking about it now is because we're thinking, of course, road closures for the winter. But I think I'm always prepared all year round. I always have lots of food in my truck in the event something like that ever goes down. So I think it's wise.
Because nobody's going to look after you like you are.
Yeah, that's right. So any closing thoughts, my friend?
Just be prepared. It's I think that's the best thing, because once it happens, it's too late.
Yeah.
I've been in road closures where I'm the only truck there.
Really.
Yeah, snow slide behind me and one in front of me.
Wow.
And there was just me.
Can you imagine that feeling? That must have. Well, I mean, you obviously did experience it.
Yeah.
But how prepared were you, though? Did you have supplies?
I had a little bit. I knew that they'd be coming soon to get me, but because the major roads, they have to, they work pretty hard to open them up right away. But I had enough to keep me going.
Well, that's good.
And another thing, make sure when your fuel tanks hit half, you fill them up.
Yeah.
Because, like I said, that one day I was stopped for 3 days, 3 full days.
Yeah.
And if you would have been, trying to make it to your next fuel stop and you've only got a quarter tank of fuel, if you can, some companies won't let you do that, but if you can, when you hit a half a tank, you top it up.
Yeah. You might have to make an extra stop, but it's worth it, especially if you have to use optimization idle on your truck, or it just heats it up once in a while. Or in our case, we have our reefer, which we can plug our truck into it, and that keeps all the batteries charged in the truck from the reefer. It's actually a really neat system. Make sure your reefer is always full as well.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's all new since I was trucking. We didn't have that sort of thing.
Well, I've never seen a company with this. This is the only company I've ever seen that's done this. It's actually quite brilliant.
That's excellent.
Yeah, I got my truck plugged right into it right now, and I look at the voltage meter, and it sits up at 13.
Oh, well.
Yeah, it's really cool.
Wonderful.
Yeah. So, my friend, I think that that pretty well covers it. And friends, if you have a suggestion for a topic for a future Trucker's Corner, you can send your emails to truckerglenn10@gmail.com. That's truckerglenn with the number 10 at gmail.com. Feel free to subscribe, share the video, and do like it, because it will help the algorithms, and which means it will YouTube will put it on other people's feeds. If other people like it, they will suggest it to others. They'll recommend it. All right, friend, Trucker Glenn, pleasure as always.
Yes.
And we will talk to you soon. Everybody else,
stay safe out there.
Yeah, be prepared. Don't be caught with your shorts down. God bless you all in the name of Yeshua. Bye for now. Okay, well, I'm all done with my loading. I'm just going to go over to the scale over here and get it weighed, because I remember that there's a scale right here. It's not a cat scale, but a scale is a scale. Yeah, I can't make that turn. Not with him there. Or with him there. He's going through. All right, as you can see, that's my trailer. 11920 on the steers. 33600 on the drives. 333200 or 3320 on the drives, or trailer rather. 33,600 on the drives and 33,320 on the trailer. Ah, beautiful. Gotta love it when the weights are excellent like that. I couldn't ask for better. Whew. Very happy with that. So I am just going to get going as fast as I can. See if I can get through LA before the rush hour kicks in, but I got a feeling I'm gonna get down there right in the middle of it. Right in the middle. But it is what it is. Get on the I-5 and make my way.
Good morning, everybody. Just making my way now up the I-5, northbound, obviously. Decided to leave a little bit earlier than I normally do. I normally leave at 7, but I figured I'll see if I can get through Portland around 9:30, and then maybe I can get through Seattle around 1 or 2. Just to avoid all the rush hour. It is Friday, it's going to be busier today, so the sooner I leave the better. I still have to deliver this load tomorrow morning. I am going to get a hold of the customer and let them know I'm going to be there early, just in case they want that load earlier. You never know. They may say no, we'll take you tomorrow morning, and I'll just say alright. But if they want it earlier, they can have it earlier. They might want it earlier. Never a bad idea. Call the receiver and be respectful and say, yeah, I'm going to be there tonight. Do you want your load early, or do you want to just keep the regular appointment? And I've been in situations where they said, yeah, bring it in, we'll take it right away. And that usually makes the customer happy to get their product earlier, because it makes their customers even happier that their product is going to get there earlier. So we'll see what happens. But in the meantime, we got a few hills to climb here before we get anywhere near the Portland area. Eugene or Salem, we got some hills to climb. And it's foggy, as you can see. It's a foggy one out here. It is indeed. Hopefully the sun gets up soon, because I heard from Susan, my friend, that the leaves are changing color. Also heard from my friend Ryan that they are very colorful as well up in these areas here. I think Ryan told me, or maybe he did. I don't know, I can't remember. I know Susan told me. So maybe we'll get a chance to see a little bit of color. Wouldn't that be nice? I love it when people drive around with their lights off. I don't know why. See that a lot, don't you? People driving around with their lights off. And it's because a lot of these cars, when you turn them on, the dash lights all light up. You might have some lights in the front that turn on, but it doesn't turn on the doesn't turn on the back lights. You know, your rear lights. So you don't even, and you're driving around in the fog with your lights off. That's really bright. Go hit a Starbucks and get yourself a really strong coffee, because you're obviously not awake yet. made it into Delta. Made it across the border, made it to Delta, and this looks a whole lot different than it used to, I'll tell you. And to get to the scale, okay, we gotta go this way. Yeah, it's a little bit different. A little bit different than it used to be anyway. But yeah, I'm gonna go to that parking area. There's a parking area that's not far from here, where I'm gonna go for the night. Made specifically for trucks. Trucks only, and it's not for parking your truck and going home. You have to be in your truck, or you end up getting towed. But I'll definitely be in the truck, so I'm not concerned about that. Alright, what do we got here? Yeah. And I'm not really worried about my weights either. Ooh, they got I wouldn't mind getting a coffee. I don't think you can get a truck in over there. You know what? I got a Keurig machine and I do have coffee. I don't know why I don't do that. I think I will do that. But I've had that coffee for a while in the Keurigs. I don't know how fresh it is. Alright. Alright. It's been a while since I've been at this scale. Empty trucks in right lane. Alright. Ah, my neck is sore. The other day I slept on my neck the wrong way on my pillow, and boy oh boy. Painful. Had a headache all day yesterday. I had to take an Advil. I don't like taking anything, any kind of medication, but that one was really starting to linger. I'm like, okay, finally, I'll take one. I can't handle this anymore. It was getting too much. It was getting too painful. Alright, well, we are officially on the 17, the BC 17. And I'm pretty close to this area where you can park. I do believe it's just on the other side of the bridge here, the Port Man Bridge. But I'm going to get over here now because there's a lot of cars coming and there's a chance they won't let you in. I'm just hoping that there is access to that parking area. What is truck parking? Beautiful. Okay, so I can access it going this way. That's what I was concerned about. Will I be able to access this going this way because of this barricade in the middle? I didn't know whether or not you'd be able to get access to it going eastbound, and you can. So this will be the first time I've used this. Yeah, it'll be nice. Maximum limit 24 hours. You drop your trailer there, it'll get towed. I'm just hoping there's room in there. There should be. It's still quite early. Yeah, this was a wonderful idea to build this. Here we go. No cars, no drop trailers, nada. No four-wheelers. I think you gotta check in too. Got bathrooms. I think it's got showers. I think. Somebody told me it had showers. We'll see. Oh, praise God. Because there really isn't anywhere else to park. I mean, if there wasn't anything else I could do, I'd have to go park at go to the yard and park, because there's nowhere else to really go. We're really really limited on parking. Really limited on parking out here in Vancouver. It's just as bad. It's actually worse than LA, because at least LA has some truck stops. Like you'll see truck stops in Ontario, Castaic, other places like that. There's a couple other truck stops. What's this guy doing? You gonna go, buddy, or what? Or is there a little booth here? No. Where's the guy checking him in? But out here, there's nothing. There's no truck stops. None. There's one truck stop over here on Anasis. Well, just past Anasis Island, and you can barely get two, 3 trucks in there. It's an absolute joke. Here we go. Here we go. We go. Do 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 do. We're good. Look at this. See, they just make note of who you are and what you got. And look at all this look at all this parking here. Just amazing. I'm really grateful for the city of Surrey for doing this. This is amazing. I like the fact that they have security. I like that, because that means people can't just rob the trucks that are parked. Ingenious. I really like it. Glory to God. I am only 23 miles away from my delivery now. I can go off duty and have myself some dinner. Don't know what I'm gonna make yet. I got an appetite. I was just gonna make sandwiches with roast beef and cheese. I don't know, I may want more than that. I might make myself a pot roast. They're already pre-cooked pot roasts. You get them at Costco. Oh, they're good. They're really, really, really good. Oh, my neck. My neck, my neck, my neck, my neck. VHF radio, it's working. So friends, I'm gonna take you with me on my delivery tomorrow morning. So I will take you on that. So I'm probably gonna be up. My delivery is 7. And it's not going to take that long to get that early in the morning. It's only, like right now, it's saying it's 54 minutes to go 23 miles. Well, that's because of the rush hour. Yeah, there's several delays all the way up there. But that's only going to be a half an hour drive that early in the morning on a Saturday. So I'm probably going to leave maybe quarter after. I might leave at 6. It's never a bad thing to be early. Never a bad thing to be early. All right, friends. See you in the morning. Well, friends, my intention was to take you in to that delivery the next morning. Unfortunately, I had an issue, technical issue with my GoPro, which the sound was not coming through on the actual face cam, this one right here. So the morning, you could see the road, you can see everything, but it looked like a silent film. You couldn't hear anything I was saying. So that was my fault. That was an amateur mistake. But you know what? I unplugged my GoPro to take my files off that night, and then I plug everything back into it. And sometimes the mic does not connect. Even though you have everything hooked up in there, the mic doesn't connect. It doesn't connect properly. It's a glitch with the GoPro. It happens every once in a while, and unfortunately, I did not catch it. Normally in the morning, I will fire everything up and I'll do a test, and then I'll play it back and make sure the mic and everything is connected. But it was early in the morning, and I just wanted to get that load delivered. So, anyway, I made it into Vancouver, delivered my load, went back to the yard, and the rest is history. So that's kind of what happened, and I do apologize. There wasn't a lot to see anyway, except for rainy streets, but that parking area there on the 17, what a nice idea that is. So yeah, it had showers. It also had 4 bathrooms and 2 showers there, and a lot of parking. So if you happen to be in the Lower Mainland, the Vancouver area, and you're doing a delivery, say you're from Ontario or other places around the country, or maybe even from the US, and you're looking for a place to park, right under, just remember this, along Highway 17, the BC 17, basically under the Portman Bridge, that is where the free parking area is for the trucks. And you can park there for 24 hours free. They don't charge you parking in there. If you have to stay longer, you actually have to leave the lot and come right back. It's kind of silly. You think you would just re-register, but that's kind of what you have to do. So if you're ever in the area and you need to find parking, that's a great place to park. But anyway, guys, that's all I have for you. I really hope you enjoyed the video. Hope you enjoyed the music, and it's good to have the new subscribers. Thank you for subscribing. It's wonderful to see the new subscribers jump aboard as winter intensifies, because it will intensify. The weather is no doubt going to get worse. The next video that you will be seeing, I am doing a run into Calgary, and then from Calgary it just starts to snow like crazy, and then you'll see the rest of it. But I really do hope you enjoyed the video. Do subscribe, hit the little notification bell on there. That'll tell you when new uploads happen, and it'll send you notification. Be sure to share it, and do like the video if you could. And if you're new to the channel and you haven't subscribed, I invite you to subscribe. I really do. It'd be nice to have to add with my regular amazing YouTubers, more of you to join the family. That would be awesome. So God bless you all in the name of Yeshua. If you need prayer, please leave a comment below or send me an email to truckarray7@gmail.com. truckarray7@gmail.com. I'll be happy to pray for you, and please keep me in your prayers. And take care of yourselves, and we'll see you soon. Bye for now.